can lock a man, you can't lock a movement, because movements live in the streets and in the minds of the people. He built an empire, lyric by lyric, brand by brand, turning raw talent into global influence and street stories into million-dollar anthems. Every verse a headline, every beat a business move. This is Vybz Kartel, the blueprint, the headline, and the history still being written. A young talent with nothing but a pen, an unshakable vision, and a fire bright enough to light up Kingston at midnight. His influence reaches from Trenchtown sound systems to luxury high-rises in uptown Kingston and far beyond the Caribbean. Born Adidja Palmer on January 7, 1976, in Kingston, Jamaica. Raised in Waterford, Portmore, he didn't grow up in the glitter of stardom. He grew up in the raw reality of Jamaica's inner city. Music wasn't just entertainment here. It was survival, expression, rebellion. By 11 years old, Kartel was already penning rhymes inspired by his musical heroes, Papa San, Ninja Man, and Buju Banton. He called himself Adi Banton at first, a nod to Buju, and recorded his first single, Love Fat Woman, at just 17. It wasn't a chart topper, but it was the spark. Kartel's early years were a masterclass in persistence. He studied the greats, mastered patois wordplay, and sharpened a lyrical style so vivid it could paint Kingston sunsets and street corner politics in the same verse. In the mid-90s, he joined the trio Vybz Kartel, yes, with a Y, but when that dissolved, he kept the name, switched the spelling to Vybz Kartel, and started carving out his lane. Kartel's big break came when he joined Bounty Killer's Alliance crew in the early 2000s. It was here that his name began to carry weight, not just in Jamaica, but in dancehall circles worldwide. Hits like Gun Clown, Bust Me Gun Like Nuttin', and Most High put him on the map. His delivery was razor sharp, his punchlines lethal, his hooks undeniable. By 2003, he wasn't just another Alliance member. He was the one fans couldn't stop talking about. His lyrical battles with Ninja Man and other rivals became legendary, showing the world that Kartel wasn't just an entertainer. He was a gladiator in the arena of dancehall. But Kartel wasn't content with being a street king. He had bigger plans. From the jump, Vybz Kartel understood brand power. He didn't just drop singles, he dropped an image. The custom Clarks, the tattoos, the designer belts, the tinted shades. He didn't just wear style, he sold it, literally. When he rapped about Clark's shoes in 2010, sales in Jamaica exploded and stores couldn't keep them on shelves. Soon, Kartel was endorsing liquor brands, launching his own rum, Vybz Rum, his own condom line, even dabbling in cake soap, turning an offhand lyric into a product line. It wasn't just music anymore. It was an empire. And with the empire came the money and the lifestyle. Kartel's success brought him out of the gritty lanes of Portmore and into a new world, one of high walls, imported Italian tiles, and panoramic views over Kingston Harbor. His Kingston home, before legal troubles changed his world, was a fortress of luxury. Marble floors imported from Europe, a home studio outfitted with the best audio equipment money could buy, a closet lined with rare sneakers, custom Clarks, and designer labels from Gucci to Louis Vuitton. Multiple high-end vehicles, BMWs, Range Rovers, and the kind of tinted SUVs that glide through Kingston like shadows. His jewelry collection? Pure statements. Thick gold chains, diamond-encrusted pendants with World Boss spelled out in stones, and watches that flashed under club lights like miniature suns. Kartel wasn't just living well, he was living loud. And yet, even in the middle of all the luxury, he never lost the connection to the streets. Fans would still see him in Portmore, rolling with his crew, buying food from local vendors, handing out money to elders and kids in the neighborhood. But Kartel's rise came with turbulence. His music pushed boundaries, his lyrics flirted with the taboo, and his public feuds often exploded into national headlines. He was banned from several Jamaican radio stations at various points, only to come back with bigger hits. Then came 2011, when his career and his life took an unexpected turn. Kartel found himself at the center of one of Jamaica's most high-profile legal battles, a case that gripped the nation like a high-drama courtroom series. Even after a highly publicized trial and a lengthy sentence, Kartel did something no one thought possible. He kept releasing music. From behind prison walls, he dropped albums, singles, and features. delivering massive hits like Fever, coloring this life in any weather. Physically confined, but creatively untouchable. Kartel's ability to remain relevant and dominant while incarcerated is one of the most remarkable feats in music history. With the help of a close-knit team, unreleased vocals, and savvy production, his music videos still hit millions of views. His voice still blasted from dancehall speakers across the globe. He recorded voice notes for fans, gave interviews, and maintained a social media presence that felt almost impossible. And his influence, it only grew. Younger dancehall artists still name him as their biggest inspiration. International stars from Drake to Rihanna have nodded to his impact. Vybz Kartel doesn't just have fans, he has disciples. His Instagram, even from prison, overflows with messages of support, fan art, and tributes. In Jamaica, his influence on culture, slang, and style is unmatched. Globally, he's a cult figure, representing resilience, raw talent, and the unapologetic spirit of dancehall. What many don't see behind the headlines is Kartel's quieter side. Before his incarceration, he funded school programs, donated to community projects in Portmore, and helped struggling young artists get studio time. Even now, royalties from his music help support his children and, reportedly, community initiatives. For Kartel, legacy isn't just about being the best dancehall artist alive. It's about leaving a mark so deep the genre can never erase it. Kartel is a father of several children, some of whom are now carving their own paths in music. Most notably, his sons Lifestyle of Vybz and Lifestyle Addy, who perform as part of the group PG-13. In interviews, they've spoken about their father's guidance, even from behind bars, and his insistence on discipline, education, and ambition. To them, he's not just the world boss, he's dad. Before prison, Kartel's home life mirrored the superstar image. A rooftop deck with a view of Kingston's glittering nightscape. Imported furnishings blending Caribbean flair with modern luxury. A private pool area where industry parties and after-hours limes blurred into dawn. Recording sessions that could start at 2 a.m. and end at sunrise. It was the hub of creativity, celebration, and business deals. As of now, Kartel continues to challenge the outcome of his high-profile case, with ongoing legal efforts and new developments keeping the possibility of his release alive. If that day comes, dancehall could witness one of the most explosive comebacks in music history. And even if it doesn't, Kartel's influence has already crossed into immortality. His catalog is vast, his brand is global, and his cultural footprint is firmly cemented. Vybz Kartel's story is one of dualities: genius and controversy, luxury and struggle, confinement and boundless creativity. He turned street poetry into a global soundtrack. He built an empire from rhythm and rhyme. He lived the high life without forgetting the low places he came from. And love him or hate him, one thing's for sure: you can't talk about dancehall without talking about Vybz Kartel. Because this isn't just music. This is history in real time, and the last chapter still unwritten.